Hello, everyone. This is Zafar Abundancewala, and you're watching a very special show today on Global Abundance Organization, GAO TV. And Jim Gale is with us. He's such a cute heart and brain and mind, and he himself is such a charming person. He is aligned with himself, he is aligned with his creator. And let's go directly to Jim Gale. Hi, Jim. How are you doing, man?
Oh, I'm doing wonderful, Zafar, and I am so thankful that we are having another beautiful conversation. As you know, and everybody around the world is aware that there's a lot of struggling going on right now. There are a lot of wars that are going on. And the misdirection is that these wars in Iran and the Ukraine and Israel are the only wars, right? But the ultimate war is the war in our minds, the war of trauma and scarcity, and the war of shame and humiliation and pride, and these energetic systems that are controlling our actions. And what I love so much about you, Zafar, is you see past the narratives, see past the divide and conquer strategies that are being imposed on us. And I've been fortunate enough to be invited to many groups, strategic think groups, right? Like, the Maha group, right? I met with Bobby Kennedy a few years ago, and I laid out for Bobby a strategy to create abundance nationwide, and then I see it going globally as well. And so I've been invited into these kind of think tanks. And what I'm experiencing, especially since the wars have really started to ramp up, is a narrative that Muslims want to kill Jews and Christians, that most Muslims have this hatred. And I know for certain, based on my conversations with a bunch of Muslim friends, that that is exactly the opposite of what's true. And I also know that Muslims are told that the Jews and Christians want to kill them. And while this is a partial truth, right? And I said this earlier, there are some people who call themselves Christians that want to see all Muslims abolished or killed. There are some people who call themselves Jews or Zionists or Muslims that want to see the people killed that are not Muslims, Jews, and Christians. But I want to ask you, brother, do you feel that way? And from your perspective, how many people in your network feel that way?
You're very right. I mean, this is how we are, our brains are wired through some people. They are already in minority everywhere in your part of the world, in our part of the world. That our people, this part of the world, keep telling that the Jews and Christians want to kill them, and you are told otherwise also. So what's the test? Test is when our people go to your places, and when your people visit our places, they are like, oh my goodness, are you the same who are on the media all the time? You were told that these are not good guys. But I mean, just look at those people who are visiting my place, who are visiting our place. Listen to them. These are your people, not our, like coming from Europe, America, and be the those from any ethnicity. So just listen to them. You don't listen to us what we say. They were here, and then we should listen to not to you, but those who were there. They have gone from my area, and I should listen. Man, this is it true? I mean, I've been interacting with people globally, and I started this show, the Abundance Show, with the same vision. In the heart of the heart is peace, which is in fact abundance. If there is no peace, there can't be abundance. The abundance opposite of abundance is scarcity. Scarcity mean the war, the war for anything, that the competition, fighting each other's, killing one. Look, humanity has done it already. Let's go back to Hiroshima, Nagasaki. Let's go back to Mongolia right now. Where are Mongols now? I mean, Mongol was the one who killed the people through their swords. They just, neck off and, sacking them. And where are they now? And looking back to Hiroshima, Nagasaki right now,
Yeah.
it's greener, it's abundant, it's beautiful,
Yeah.
despite the fact that it was once abolished. So, I think killing is no solution. As long as, whenever we look back, I mean, how many people can you kill? There is a natural phenomena. When you, I mean, there are 8 billion people. There are all ethnicities. I mean, why? The first question is, why to kill?
Yeah.
I mean, do you feel? I mean, if you kill somebody, I mean, do you feel proud, or it's like, the Creator has created such a beautiful human being, and the human are the best of the creature of the Almighty.
Yeah.
So, I mean, how can it get you happiness killing? No, and the only thing remains, like, you and me. You're Christian, I'm Muslim,
Yeah.
and I mean, how hard have you been trying to bring in a third friend to the talk? You have done a lot. I mean, I really appreciate the effort. And I think a person like yourself deserves so much of the respect, as long as politics is concerned, that the people like yourself, must be the politicians. And I would like to have your manifesto about your political thinking, and how you, if you become the president of United States of America, what would be your strategies? I mean, how would you create abundance? How would you tune into abundance, and you would tune the globe into abundance? Back to you.
Oh, Zafar, thank you. That is such a beautiful question. It's so simple, right? Is we would share knowledge. We will share seeds. We will reinvest our surplus to lift up the most suffering and impoverished among us. Right? It is the best, this whole idea of taxation and control of money and medicine and schooling, all of these energetic elements in our society. When we simply use those elements, those same elements, to create abundance, and then we share the abundance, then abundance supplants scarcity, and it's the only thing that can. And then scarcity supplants and heals trauma, and scarcity and trauma are what create war. So we just dialed in on the solution to war, right? And it is earth care and people care. It's sharing our resources. So the vision that I have had for over a decade is to transform these army bases where we invite the people there to put down their guns and pick up shovels, to put down their bullets and pick up seeds, and then share and create these abundant systems, and then teach the communities all over the place how to share. Right now, I don't have the authority to apologize for the government and the military industrial complex, right? Instead, we're not going to apologize. We're simply going to act. We're going to say, hey, here's what we are going to do. Here's what I intend to do. And really, the I is just a simple way of stating my connection with all that is, with the creator, right? Here's what when I'm connected and in peace and abundance and presence, here's what the message comes to me. The message is, it's time to share. It's time to care. It's time to act, right? Peace actions, right? We're done with peace talks that are all riddled with deception. The peace actions, right? By their deeds, you shall know them. So let's act on the service and caring and sharing. And when we do that, it breaks down the trauma wall, right? So everybody is experiencing around the world this wall of deception. And we take one nugget away from that wall at a time by acts of regeneration and caring. What do you feel about it? How does that feel?
When I mean, I feel on the top of the world. Honestly, it gets me tons of energies. The idea is so amazing, and I would like to just add and augment your narrative. It's been like around 2 years now. I have been interacting with American people. Like one, you're the one. Finest example. I am into a group of the Silicon Alliance. There is a platform called Silicon Alliance. The founder of the Silicon Alliance is Kimberly Waffling, and she loves me as one can love one's kids, and she's so loving, and she's all the time there. Whenever I need some consultancy, she's there. She's teaching me. She's boosting my everything. And now, I mean, there is one more is like the mentoring club, Silicon Valley.
Yeah.
This is Little Mendoza, and this is another lady. She's also Christian. Kimberly is also, I suppose, she's Christian, or maybe I never asked. And okay, then there's another person, Hong. He's Vietnamese friend, but he's living in USA for ages now, and he's also my mentor. And there are a lot others. I mean, I'm talking to people. They are teaching and educating me that they could teach and educate their own kids. So what I find, abundance is already there. Be it any country, your country is not bad. My country is not bad. No country is bad. It's created by the Almighty, and the Almighty has created on His own terms, and His terms are absolutely, they're abundant. There is no scarcity. The scarcity comes when we come in. Look, I mean, I want to rule you. I don't know why do I want to rule you. Why don't I live with you as a friend, as a colleague, as a another resident of this planet Earth? So we are citizens of our countries, but we are resident of the planet Earth.
Yeah.
So why don't we introduce each other to as the resident of the planet Earth? So I
Yes.
mean, why are we screwing this? Be it climate, be it politics, be it businesses, be it boundaries, be it geography, be it the economy. Why we believe that only the war industry is the industry that can make us billionaire and trillionaires? How about Elon Musk? He's not killing anybody. He is the trillionaire.
Well, there's a lot. Let's not bring in him. I'm not so sure about that fella. But but anyway.
any person who's doing any impact things. Anyhow, but this is what I think. Back to you.
Yeah. Well, so I feel exactly the same. The more we share and care. Now, the people that I am talking about, they're very distressed right now. And they are saying, look at all the evidence for all the Muslims who want to kill us. And I'm like, that evidence is anecdotal. It's not the bigger story. It's the story that the people who are suffering a lot, and this is all led by the government. That's the story that they want us to be telling so that they can keep the military industrial complex going. So a sincere question for you, brother. How many people that you're in Pakistan, right? How many people in your community in Pakistan chant death to the infidels and want all of us dead?
Zero. I mean, in my community, in my friends, those, I mean, I've got friends in military. I have got my own background in military. I was brought up in a cadet college, and it was a military college, and it was Air Force college. I mean, it has not been a week. I want to narrate you a story. I mean, I'm still sad about. My friend, my very dear friend, group captain. I mean, I won't take the name in Air Force. My colleague, we lived together. And we are family together. He was and he was an active pilot. And I mean, look, I'm telling you about the person who was a militant, who was a military person himself. He was passing by a road, and he saw a girl and a boy fighting, and the boy was harassing the girl. He just stopped by, and he said, "Don't do this." He warned, and he told the boy not to do this and just get off. So the boy, I mean, get a little bit aside. Then he drove off, and but he was looking back in the mirror. He wanted to make sure that he's not harassing the girl anymore.
Yeah.
Then the boy got back to the girl, and then he was looking back in the rear view mirror, and from the next U-turn he came back and then took the new U-turn and stopped by there and asked, "Do I'm telling you not to harass the girl." He didn't know the girl, he didn't know the boy,
Yeah.
but there's a scene. I mean, I'm telling you about a person who was a pilot, who was a shooter, who was a military person. I mean, I'm telling you the brain of a soldier. He
Yeah.
said, "Don't do this." I mean, this is how we were trained. We are
Yeah.
trained that way. The person, he just that boy shot him dead. He's such a decorated officer, such an amazing personality, and the boy shot him dead. I mean, it's such a dilemma. We are in such in pain. I mean, we are. I mean, if he were to kill, he was a military person.
Yes.
And I'm
And
telling I'm telling about the story of
I,
a military person, not
yep.
the
Yeah,
common person. You
right.
asked me how many people want to kill. We don't want to kill. Why should we? I
Yeah.
mean, is
Yeah.
there is there any happiness? Who ever on the face of earth was happy to kill? Until unless he was insane person. I mean,
Exactly.
yeah.
It's the most suffering among us that think these thoughts, and they're programmed, and they're always a result of trauma. When a bomb lands and kills a 6 year old's mom and dad, then somebody else comes in and says, "Do you know why that happened? Here's why." And then they point to a flag and a group of people on the other side of the world, and they say, "That's the reason you're suffering. That's the reason your mom and dad are dead." And it goes all around. And by the way, I believe there's more murders here than there. There's more school shootings here than there, right? So, this whole idea that we are justified to hate another culture because of anecdotal situations, and those situations are really powerful emotionally. They draw us in and they make us feel scared. And then through that fear, they direct our attention and our energy, right? Until we become aware. And that's why this is the first step in transformation of our world, is the awareness that we have been deceived by the very entity that's telling us what we should do next. The very entity that's poisoning our sky and our land and our soil, right? The very entity that's allowing us to be poisoned by the grocery store, right? So, Zafar, I am so thankful to be talking with you about this.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I think there is a very thin minority on our planet. Very few people,
Yeah.
which is all a minority,
Yeah.
and they want to hold all resources for themselves. I don't know. Just this is in fact the real scarcity of mindset. This
Yes.
is the real scarcity mindset. They want to, and they have got somehow, I don't know how, but somehow they have got the hold over the militaries, different countries' militaries,
Yeah.
and they are holding the globe like an octopus.
Yeah.
But I mean, they are in minority now. The dialogue, I don't know. I mean, this is what you keep speaking, and you keep getting blocked, and your things I mean, it's. I mean, I need. We should not talk about who are these people, how many are these people, and where are these people. I've been talking to Jews, Christians, Muslims, Hindu, Sikh, you name it, and there is none. There is none who wants to kill anyone. I really failed. I cannot get you one example. I have
Thank you.
podcasted more than 350 people now, and
Yeah.
there is not a single person. He said, "Oh man, I want to kill you," or
Yeah.
I mean, if I
Yeah.
see somebody, I'll kill. No man, I don't know. This is an insane mind,
It
and,
is.
and there are quite a few people. Trust me.
Yes. Yes.
Otherwise, how many Muslims live in USA?
A
Millions,
lot. And they're
millions,
friends. And like,
and they are friends.
I just spoke at a mosque the other day, the most amazing group of people, right? And they were so heartfelt and loving, and they are now starting to create abundance. So, for the next 10 minutes, let's talk about how we specifically come together and we create massive abundance, right? For everybody. And I have been contemplating and asking questions about this for 20 years. How do we create abundance? And we use the systems that are already there, right? So that's why I'm running for president of the United States of America, right? The republic, the real thing, right? The corporate thing is a fiction and it's controlled by our opposition, our adversary. But here's how we do it. We start with the schools. When we add regenerative agriculture curriculum, which is basically already defined in the science of permaculture, permaculture has the ethics that everybody agrees to. Muslims, Jews, Christians, it doesn't matter, everybody. Even scientists and agnostics and atheists, they all earth care, people care, and reinvesting our surplus to earth care and people care is a good idea. And then the permaculture principles, which are fantastic. They are a guide for life on every conceivable level, right? And the principles, if people look up the 12 principles of permaculture and then use that as one of our guides for life. And so when we integrate these ethics and principles into our schooling systems. And I'll just do some math based on US reality, right? In the United States, there are about 850 students in the average high school, right? So, what I'm going to share is some very fine details on how we create abundance very rapidly. We now immediately, starting now, right, which is this coming year, we integrate permaculture classes and the students start planting seeds every single day, right? So let's take 400 students planting 10 seeds a day. Now, the time it takes to plant 10 seeds a day is like minutes, right? So now let's call it 10 sweet potato starts or tomatoes or cucumbers or lemongrass or fruit trees, right? If you average out all of the different seeds and plants that can be planted in a particular area, there are literally thousands and thousands. Actually, there are hundreds of thousands. But let's just boil it down to what everybody gets, right? Let's just call it sweet potatoes, tomatoes, and cucumbers, just for simplicity, right? Now, 10 of these times 400 equals 4,000, right? So 4,000 new seeds are planted every single. Now you take and add another 100 of the students, and they're in charge of caring for the plants that are now in their nursery. And now you take another 100 of the students, and they're in charge of building soil. So they go out into, well, first of all, from their homes and from the school, the students use the compost, right? The leftover kitchen scraps, and they add mulch and they add worm castings. And now the students are building soil that the plants will use, right? And now you've got another 100 students that are going out and they're taking the seeds and the plants that are now being cared for by the students and they're propagating them into the community, starting in their own backyards. Right. And then they work with the retailers and they now start selling these plants. Now, how much does a plant cost? Let's say it's a tomato plant, like, a foot tall. It's 60 days old from seed, right? If you go to a local store here and you buy one, it's $12.99. So if we could use a $10 average, 400 times 10 is 4,000 times, and that's 10 student or 10 seeds a day, times $10 is $40,000 in value. And not just any value, but exponential value. It's food that is grown without poisons, right? So now you've got $40,000 per day that's going into every community with a high school. The exponential value and benefits of that are cannot actually be measured, but they can be very well visualized. The price of food will come down massively. The quality of food will be enhanced, and everybody will have access to food that's willing to get off their couch, right? Faith without works is dead, right? So now this one strategy, which by the way, as a candidate for president of the United States, this is the one that I'm going to be offering to every other politician. It is open source. There's no claim to this. It's yours to everybody in the world. Every school teacher, every principal, all of you are invited to start this process now. And if some politician says that's a bad idea, well, guess what? That politician will be very famous for saying that's a bad idea and not in a good way, right? If they want to be a politician, this will be the litmus test that people will be saying, are you for this one thing? And if they're not, they simply won't be elected to any type of office. What do you feel about that idea?
I love the idea. And in every family there are few elders, one or two, the older person. He or she always keep thinking about each kid or the family member and about the needs. And I have the strong sense of gratitude for you being the one that you are not only thinking for your own kids, the kids of United States of America, but you're thinking for the globe entirely. And since I know you now, it's been quite a long time now. Each time, I mean, I'm talking to you. You're talking abundance. You want to get everybody along. It's not you don't want to go alone. And it's be it food, be it mind, peace, prosperity, or anything, you are all the time doing something positive. Well, since you are an abundance mindset and you want to take every person who is in scarcity mindset towards abundance mindset, for sure, if I were an American, if I had a vote, it was for you. And you are my president. Honestly, I have a great, huge respect for having such an abundance mindset. And when for sure, in politics I really don't know alpha about politics, but one thing is for sure. Now, I think is the time for the people like you to show up, to tell the people. And I think as you start from schooling, 12 principle of permaculture, or whatever you are actually practicing, I'm witness to that. Whatever you actually are doing, I really endorse. And if at all I have to campaign for you, I'll be campaigning also, just because that. Yeah, I see. Yeah, I wanted to ask the question about all these plants and that they have grown. My goodness. Wow. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. Before I add anything else, I mean, I want you to please tell us about all plants that you have grown there. Back to you.
Oh gosh, my friend, there are so many.
They are beautiful,
It would
marvelous.
take, yeah, it would take a long time to list all of the different plants. You know, it's it's a food forest, right? It's inshallah, it's God's design, it's nature, right? From every perspective, when we give a little bit of energy and attention to our natural world, the return on investment is incredible. It's my salvation. The act of stewardship, the act of caring for the land has radically benefited my life on every conceivable level, right? I just can't wait. In fact, today I'm moving a bamboo. We're doing a bamboo, a bamboo in a few areas for the functionality of it. And I could get into that. But bottom line is, brother, we know the solution and we are the solution, right? Communicating this message to inspire and empower, right? With the big vision is a world like the Garden of Eden everywhere. in Islam, what is the name for this place called the Garden of Eden in English?
Riazul Jannah, I mean, it's heaven.
Yes, yes. And that is our next phase. That's we're in the great awakening, right? This is the age of the apocalypse, which means lifting the veil of deceit and lies. And now people are waking up. And what we can do is follow Gandhi's advice, right? Gandhi ji, be the change that we want to see in the world. For all of you listening, it's time to put down the screens for a minute, right? And take a few deep breaths and go into the land and start planting, start building soil. Sit next to a beehive if you can find one, right? And just sit peacefully. And oh my gosh, the frequency, the energy, the life of this system will pervade your soul and your awareness, and it will lift you up, and it will literally heal, right? It's incredible, brother.
I'm absolutely moved by the idea, and I mean, to me, you are a source of energy all the time. I mean, you're getting something new to the globe, and which is indigenous, and which is the real solution. Thank you so much. Last message for the planet.
Well, everybody's invited, and it's fun, it's joyful. You know, we have two things going right now. We have foodforestabundance.com, which is a for-profit entity that we've donated. I've donated to a not-for-profit, and that is a design service. So anybody around the world can, if you want to design your landscape to create abundance, then check out foodforestabundance.com. And also, we've created a political party that will be, it feels very clear to me that this will be the most powerful political party in the world within just a couple of years. And it's called the Stewardship Party. The website is stewardshipparty.org. And you can read about our strategies to heal our planet and to heal the divide and to heal ourselves. And then for anybody else out there who might have a surplus of cash or time or energy and you want to be involved, everything we do is open source and transparent. And we want to help take that energy, whether it's money or personal wisdom or products or services, and we want to follow Dr. Martin Luther King's advice. Those who love peace must learn to organize as effectively as those who love war. And that's what we're here to do. We're here to organize effectively, to lift up the most suffering among us, to heal the trauma, to heal the divide, and create a world of epic abundance for everybody.
Oh my goodness, this is so beautiful. How but I want to literally podcast you for your party. I want to listen more to this, and I want the people to listen to you. Just because the more people listen to you, they'll get their wiring the right way. Once their mind are wired right way, then probably you are surely the strongest idea you have, and no force on earth can stop the indigenous idea. Yeah, I think whose time has already come, and this is the time for you people and person like yourself to be there. I am with you from my country, from my people. I'll be podcasting you, I'll be campaigning for you surely. So I want you to be the president of USA, the next. Thank you so much, Jim.
Thank you,
I'll
brother.
see you soon again. Thank you so much, and
Thank you, brother.
stay blessed. Bye bye. Thank you.